Hey, hello, what's up, wonderful people? Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Homeland podcast. I do hope that you're doing wonderful and you're all excited to be with us on this particular show as we get to delve into different matters on what is happening with our beautiful 254 right here in the country and even across the world. We want to thank everyone that has been supportive of the Homeland 254 podcast. We do hope to keep you engaged and keep it interactive right here on this particular show. And of course, on this particular show, we are looking forward to discussing different issues and matters right here. We do hope to keep you entertained, informed, as well as inspired when it comes to matters entertainment, matters lifestyle, matters a bit of a business, and of course, matters youth right here on the Homeland 254 podcast. In case you're joining us for the very first time, we want to thank you so much. We never take it for granted to have your company right here on the show, and we are always looking forward to keep it interactive and engaging on these particular ones. So find us on our social media platforms. We are on our Facebook, Homeland 254. You can also find us on Instagram, Homeland 254KE, and also on YouTube, Homeland 254. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Are you excited to see the end of this particular year? For me, I'm personally excited and I'm hopeful even for a better 2024. At the start of the year, everyone does get to set out their objectives or their New Year's resolutions. So I'm just wondering to myself, have you been able to achieve your year's resolutions for 2023? And moving forward to 2024, what are you looking forward to? If you look around, you will realize that people right now are sort of just eager to just kick it back and chill and just flow into the new year with a whole lot of optimism. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't really look into the next few days that are left in this particular year to sort of lock in or just tie the loose ends, if at all there were any loose ends. Welcome to this particular show. And of course, the goal of Homeland 254 is not just to have you entertained, but even to keep you informed on whatever is going on. So we shall be sharing a whole lot of content, fashion, lifestyle, culture. We shall be sharing a whole lot of, cultural showcases, style guides, youth culture, and a whole lot of even behind the scenes for those of us who are looking forward to keeping it here and are keeping it engaged on different issues. We shall be taking polls, of course, to discover what's lit and what's not. So make sure you find us also on our socials on Facebook, like I did say, Homeland 254, on Twitter, Homeland 254KE, as well as on TikTok, Homeland 254. We are looking forward to building with you, discussing pertinent matters on this particular platform. And of course, to keep it engaged and just foster connection of our people right here and anywhere else around the world. So, how are you feeling about these particular vibe? Let me know how you feel. And of course, we shall be getting into the issues of the day. Today, we do have the personality of the day on the Homeland 254 show. And our personality of the day happens to be the one and only Mr. Eddie Kategi. And in case you're just wondering who is Eddie Kategi, I know most of us and who are keen on Hollywood and who are keen on film. I do know that you know who Eddie Kategi is. But Eddie Gadegi is actually a Kenyan icon who has made it big in Hollywood, and he is the Homeland 254 personality of the day. Eddie Gadigi is a Kenyan-born actor and a producer who is known for his roles as Darwin Armando in X-Men First Class that came out in 2011, as Ronald Dicey in a startup in 2016. And in case you have not watched the startup, I believe that is an interesting one that you should actually go check out. And he also played as Jones in the last thing he wanted, which came out in 2022. So if you look at his profile or his portfolio, you might call it so, you realize that he's very expansive and very, very impressive. And now, of course, he was born on the 10th of March in 1979, born in Nairobi. Of course, he's a Pisces. And now, of course, he's a professional actor who was born in Eastlands in Nairobi, but he was raised in California. His family moved to the United States while he was quite young, settling in the Bay Area of Albany in California. And the actor was born, of course, like I did say, in March 1979. His father, who is also known as John N. Gategi, is a JD from the University of California at Berkeley, who is a professor at the University of South Florida. Not much is known about his mother, and this reminds us also of about someone else that Kenyan is particularly also interested in or interested with, and that is Barack Obama. We know about Barack Obama being the first black president of the U.S. and of course his accomplishments. But then again, our personality of the day today is Eddie Kategi. And Eddie Gadegi, he did actually start out in college as a basketballer at the University of California, Santa Barbara. And a knee injury actually derailed his career in basketball. And of course, due to these particular knee injury, he spent months unable to work, and he wanted to make sure that his schedule was an easy one on that particular semester. So he was not even more, so he was even more inconvenienced, and he figured acting would make an easy A for him. So he went into acting, and of course, after graduating in 2005, he kicked off his career by playing a Kirby in a crank that came out in 2006. The next year, Eddie landed a recurring role as a Dr. Jeffrey Cole on the Fox hit series House. And he went on to win a small but crucial role as a hard beaten drug lord, Cheese in Gone, Baby Gone in 2007. In 2009, Eddie starred in the Bloody Valentine 3D, and he priced his role as Laurent in the Twilight Saga New Moon. So for those who have been following or who have followed more followed his career or these particular actors' career, you realize that for him it has been a step or progress after progress after progress after progress. You know, that is how it has been for Eddie Gadegi. And if you check him out on the socials recently, make an announcement. There was an announcement that Eddie made on his socials. Now, this was regard his involvement with the DC family. You know, he actually join join the DC family. That was sometimes back in July. He did join the DC family, and Mr. Terrific, you know. And I would say for him, it has been that particular steady growth, you know, persistent steady growth, which is what has inspired many those who look up to him in his career. I think it's something that many people can look up to for. He has starred in many projects. You can get to check out some of his films. You can get to check out some of his films in on different platforms on your favorite movie streaming platforms. You will find him right there on that as well. But nonetheless, you also realize, I would actually say that also for Eddie, when you look at maybe some of the challenges, maybe when you look at some of the challenges that he had go through, you realize that he has surmounted all those challenges in a beautiful way, and he is therefore most find as negative publicity and a whole lot of uh, um, things going on tabloids. You know, a whole lot of sometimes you do find that the media sometimes when it comes even to these actors, they want to focus on the negativity and pull someone down. But for him, he has made sure that he has kept a low profile. Even on his social media, he's not the kind of people that you will find being on the socials every other day. Of course, we know that there are pros and cons of being on a social media in that particular kind of a regard on a day-to-day basis, on a very, very regular basis. But I think it's also his schedule. You know, sometimes you are quite busy, you know, acting on all these movies. I don't know where you'd find the time to maneuver and be on a social media every other time. But anyhow, yes, we are proud in that he's our Homeland 254 personality of the day. And now, of course, moving a little bit from that, we want to go into other matters. And I'm talking about the whole issue of new music. And talking new music, we have the one and only Lil Maina. And Lil Maina has also, you know, he has seen steady growth and progress in his music because we all knew him from the jam that is known as Kishash. And for Lil Maina, I think you will find kids singing along to his music. You'll find kids singing along to his music, sometimes not even having an idea of what Lil Maina is talking about. Kishash, Kishash, Kwabash. And I would say he has a new album right now, and it came out really just recently. And I would say for his fans, he has done them with this particular one because it's quite interesting and it's quite diverse. And there is someone that has also featured up, on that particular album as a producer. I am talking about Ndovu Niku. And this particular album has 10 tracks. This particular album has 10 tracks. And this particular album will also show you the progress and the growth this particular artist has enjoyed in the industry. I would also call it steady and consistent growth, just as we were talking about the other actor, the Kenyan, Homeland 254 personality of the day. And this is a Kenyan internet personality, and call him an influencer. I think I would actually call him. And he has tapped into collaborations with the likes of Brooklyn Boys on Fun Zoza. And also, he has also featured Trio Mio on the jam, which is known as Adoba Imewai. So, in case you haven't checked out Adoba Imewai by Lil Maina, then I think you're missing out on a lot because now this is that club banger is Adoba Imewai. It's that particular club banger that everyone ought to be checking out and vibing to because. Uh, this is a Lil Minor, and he is seen as one of kind of a internet sensation. You know, when his Jama came out, a lot of people were actually very, very much in love with him when his project came out. A whole lot of people were actually in love with this particular song, and the only problem is sometimes you find that when you drop a song, some people might think, "Oh, this is a one-hit wonder," and therefore he might not be able to go far with it or let him prove himself. But of course, the name of this particular album is Maisha Yastana, and this is his debut album after keeping the fans waiting for a whole 1 year. And he has finally dropped this particular project. Like I did say, the project has 10 songs, and it includes that collaboration with Tremuse known as Adoba Imewai, which is produced by Ramon. And in case you haven't taken to his socials to check this out, I would actually just urge you to make sure you do so. You know, make sure you are checking him out and even showing some love on the social because this is him and this is what he has been working for that particular period of time. You know, sometimes people think that when an artist has been silent, you know, there is not a whole lot of things happening with him. But I would say no, this is for Lil Minor. If you check out even the artwork, I would say is it's on point. You know, and many people have received it positively. For example, you might see on his social fans saying, "Bana Johindo tunacheza Krisi mpaka 2024." Yeah, this is an album for him, and like I did say, it has even tracks featuring Brooklyn Boys, one jam known as Zoza, another one known as Lifeline. You know, featuring Spinks Mafia, and this is a way to go. I would say this is an actually the way to go. Like Kenyan artists like this. And the thing is, when it comes to us supporting music, let's keep on doing the most we can. And this is a Homeland 254. You know, we are all about supporting we are about supporting that particular talent. You know, that is what we stand for on the Homeland 254, supporting real Kenyan talent, you know, and we stay plugged to the source. And this is also the place where you get all that info on what is happening now with that. But moving along swiftly, but before we move on, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. But moving along swiftly, I just want to talk about something else, which is also something of to take pride in, which is pride in. I am talking about the whole new project that has premiered on Netflix. It's a Kenyan series, and this particular one also gives me so much joy. You know, sharing about it gives me so much joy because At the end of the day, we want to see our artists and our actors, our creatives also recognized to higher levels when they put out their content or anywhere around the world. That is what we want to see and celebrate right here on the Homeland 254 podcast. So we do have these the new series, which is which has actually premiered, and I'm talking about the series called Volume. You know, in case you're an ardent movie fan and you haven't checked out Volume, the series, then you are missing out on a lot. I would actually urge you to check it out. I would actually urge you, please make sure you over the weekend, right now we head into the weekend. Please over the weekend, make sure that you're watching this particular one by Tosh Gitonga. Sorry, it's a production by Tosh Gitonga, and this is supporting a real Kenyan talent, in all particular aspects. And it shares a story of these Brian or Benja, and Benja is a youngin, trying to pursue success in music, and then again through his hustles, this is a story, shared about how you can pursue a goal or you pursue a dream, even when they are in the background of many challenges, financial challenges. You're also coming up in an area where there is gangs, there is violence in that particular regard. But one thing I have realized about this particular one, because I did check it out, is that the storyline is quite dope, and the way it has been adopted and presented, the execution of an idea, this is what makes the idea also. This is what makes the idea really stand out, and therefore I would say it's a good project. It's kudos to the whole production team of Volume, the series, and also the cast. Look at the cast. The cast is a team of really, really talented actors and actresses. Terrence Creative is also on there. And one thing about Terrence Creative is that from what what I do see from Terrence on his socials or on his platforms, I'm used to seeing Terrence from the Joker perspective. Or he likes to be easygoing and like a comedian. But now on this particular one, the Volume, the role that he plays as a cop, and this is a badass cop. The role he plays on this particular one also brings out his other side. Of course, most of these particular casts that you have seen, some of them have been involved actively in other productions before, so they are only now showing a different side of themselves and how they can master the craft on this particular one. But you also realize that this is good production, and I do hope to see more of us supporting Kenyan talent in many regards. Please make sure that you're watching this particular one. Make sure that you're going out and supporting in whatsoever way that you are able to do so. And we shall be able, to see our industry grow. Because at the end of the day, it's about growth. It's about growth. It's also about local support, because you have seen in other countries like Nigeria. Nigeria, they have a whole lot of films on Netflix, and I'm not talking about just Netflix. There are so many other platforms that have that global reach. And the thing is, when it comes to us identifying this talent and putting it out there for the globe to see what Kenya has to offer, this gives us a big sense of pride. You would understand that, people want to see what does Kenya have to offer. And now this particular one, when people watch it from the outside, not just in Kenya, they realize, oh, Kenya has an untapped potential. We can go and also produce our films there. And with the film creation, this also brings in employment, a creation of employment for the producers, the people who are designing the sets, the people who are working in different areas of a film production. You don't have to be an actor, you don't have to be an actress, but you realize that there are so many areas where you can get active and get employment in this particular area, and you can contribute in many ways in the film sector. Nonetheless, this has been the Homeland 254 podcast. Thank you so much for being with us on the show. As always, I appreciate you. I love you. And I do hope that you get to join us on the next episode of the Homeland 254 podcast. For now, it's your homeboy Spike sending out. Till next time, much peace and love. Kwaheri. Peace out.